I'd like to call to order the Monday, July 2nd, 2018 meeting of the Jefferson County Board of Education. As you're willing and able, if you could join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I know whoever's in that pickup truck is thrilled that we all stood up just in time to see them getting a speeding ticket in front of us. Glad that that was no one in here.
Yeah, the whole time they it's their favorite spot. Favorite spot.
Right in front of us.
They love me.
Okay, so the first order of business is the introduction of our newly elected board members, and we have Miss Laura Storm here to swear them in. But first, I'd like to introduce Miss Kathy Skinner, Miss Lori Ogden, and Miss Arthena Roper, who are our new board members for the next 4-year term. And Miss Storm was just, there you go, you were just here. So come work your magic, Miss Storm.
If I can have you three stand and raise your right hand. And the way I will do this is I will say your name and you will repeat it after me. The rest of the oath you will do together. I, Lori Ogden.
I, Lori Ogden.
I, Catherine Skinner.
Hi, Catherine Skinner.
I, Arthena Roper.
I, Arthena Roper,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of West Virginia,
and the Constitution of the State of West Virginia,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of member of the Jefferson County Board of Education
The duties of member of Jefferson County Board of Education.
to the best of my skill and judgment.
to the best of my skill and judgment.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Ms. Storm.
It's
We
always
appreciate
an
it.
honor.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, so for the next order of business, so that I can promptly relinquish this chair, which I'll be super happy to do, we have to have the election of a president. Therefore, we will open the floor for nominations from members of the board.
I make Kathy Skinner for president.
Do I hear a second?
So moved.
Any
I'll
other?
nominate Mark Osborne for vice president.
Actually, you do the election of the president first, and then I relinquish the chair to the president, and then the president runs the nominations of an election of the vice president.
Nice.
I actually read up on this because it's my first time, trying not to really make a train wreck of this. So if we could, any other nominations for president?
Move nominations be closed.
Yes, sir. Second?
Second.
Okay. Okay, call the question. Everyone in favor of Kathy Skinner for election of president? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I am happy to relinquish this to you, Ms. Skinner. Congratulations.
Thank you, I think.
Condolences, I'm not sure how that works.
All right. So now we have the election of vice president, and the floor is open for nominations.
I nominate Mark Osborne to be
Any other nominations?
Move nominations be closed.
All right. So we have a motion for Mark. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, and now we need to set the date, time, and place of meetings. And do we have a motion for that, or keep it the
Move they
same?
remained as they are.
As they are, is it the second and fourth Monday?
Second and fourth Monday, 7 PM here. Now we'll have 3 dates that there'll be a conflict. One is Veterans Day, one is Christmas Eve, and there's a third one. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head.
Memorial Day.
Is it Memorial Day? So, Veterans Day, should we make it that Tuesday instead of Monday?
It'll be the 13th. Veterans Day is on
The 12th.
The 11th, so the 12th actually is Christmas Eve.
The observed day is the 12th. So with the exception of November 12th, we'll make that the 13th. And then December 24th, I don't think we want to make that the Tuesday because that's the 25th.
We usually skip that one.
So if I think we can plan on skipping that one unless something comes up where we need to deal with
Special
something.
meeting. Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
So December 24th is canceled. And
And
then
what were the others, Kathy?
May 27th.
November 12th is now November 13th. December 24th is canceled. And then May 27th, make it Tuesday the 28th.
Just those 3.
Just those 3 are conflicts. So do we have a motion for the amended dates of the 2018-19 meetings?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right. Next, we have the board representation on the standing committees. The first one is the Eastern Panhandle Instructional Cooperative. Currently, Mr. Osborne, you serve on that one. And I assume you would like to continue to serve since you're currently their vice president.
Yes.
So do we have a nomination for Mark to continue to serve on the EPIC committee? Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Next, we have the James Rumsey Administrative Council. And Mr. Cable, you're currently serving on that?
Yes, and I would like to stay, thank you.
Okay, so do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right. And I know we have other committees that we need to tend to, but we don't need to do that today, like the Parks and Rec and the library and a list of others. So we can discuss who wants to cover those. All right, so now we're moving on to the regular agenda for July 9th. The superintendent's comments?
None, ma'am.
None? All right, the approval of minutes. Do we have a motion for the minutes for the board meeting held June 25th, 2018?
So moved.
Second?
Second, for clarification.
All right. In the minutes for that meeting, it states in there that we approved the virtual school policy for up to 10 children. And I don't think that that was the intention. I think the intention was to approve the policy and then let the superintendent come up with SOPs for the actual virtual school. So do we have a motion for the amended minutes from June 25th?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Okay. And citizens' comments?
None.
None? All right, then we're on the consent agenda. Any changes or adjustments
No,
to
ma'am.
the
No
consent agenda?
amendments to the consent agenda.
All right. So do we have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So now we are down to unfinished business. There's none. New business. Action on approval to modify and post existing position for transportation department.
So moved.
I think Ralph has a presentation.
Well, now I have a discussion,
Discussion.
you know, with you all as to what this is. It's a redistricting bus, and we, we'll continue those redistricting for some time yet. But we have added a little extra times in this situation to make some more pickups, and that will have to go to a full-time instead of a half-time position. It exceeds a half-day. We will also use this bus for additional time because they'll be getting paid for a full day. So some extra things we could throw in there.
All right. And this was from the redistricting
Yes.
last August?
Right.
Do you have any idea, Ralph, about how many children were transported?
I don't.
Roughly.
I can't give you an honest answer. I can find out
So
for you.
will a bus take care of that?
Yes. Well, it'll take care of this area. This area is not the only bus. We have more than one bus that we're using this way, and we're picking up children.
All right, so do we have a motion to approve the modification of the existing position for the Transportation Department?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I abstain because I need to catch up on what's
Okay.
about.
All right, and then, thank you, Rob.
Welcome.
Action on approval to place on review the replacement of Chapter 2, Section 5.0, the nepotism policy.
Yes, ma'am. It was brought to our attention that with Ms. Roper's recent election, that the nepotism policy that had been approved, at least as it's in there back in 2004, represented a conflict in that it had a great deal of specificity about members of the board serving the supervisory position and principals. And as you know, Ms. Roper's sister-in-law, Deborah Corbett, is the exemplary principal out at Ranson Elementary, without whom I would not want to try to run the school system, although I suppose that someday at some point we will have to. But so I went to our legal counsel and asked them to review the nepotism policy and the state requirements for nepotism, and to revise it if possible so that there wasn't any conflict and they could both fulfill their roles without any conflict. And so she went and researched and looked at the state policy and wrote this nepotism policy as a replacement for us to put on review. Would go up for public comment for 2 weeks.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second? Discussion?
Yes, I think our emails were down last week when I asked a question about, there's a paragraph in the employees portion of the nepotism policy. And it states, the board will not allow a relative to be employed in a supervisory position that supervises or evaluates another relative. This policy does not preclude, I'm sorry, that's not the part. One, two, in the third paragraph. Actually, this is different from what I saw online. So I don't have a comment because
Okay.
yeah, this is different from what I sent you. So. No comment.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, and certainly if there's something that is an issue, the vote is simply to place it out for public comment for 2 weeks, not for your approval. But
Is this review circle? It is the policy of the board. Oh, I'm sorry. It is here.
Okay.
The comment. It's in the first paragraph.
okay,
Second, I guess that's the second sentence. states, "It is the policy of the board that relatives of employees shall not be eligible for employment with the district in any situation where there are potential problems of supervision, safety, security, or morale, personal relationships that may disrupt or create a negative or unprofessional work environment, or potential conflicts of interest." My question was this something that we legally had to put in? And I would just like to make that known that in the next 2 weeks, I'd like to
Okay.
find out.
Like
this
how
done.
much of this is within that actual
Yes.
state policy
Mhm.
versus, okay.
Thank you.
Well, my question is, with the website down or compromised at the moment, can public comment be made on this?
At this point, we will probably be coming back in 2 weeks and asking you to extend it. We are having some significant technical difficulty. Our website is down right now. The state has a conflict with the certification for our new website, and it is not functioning, and we have been told it may take as much as a week for them to correct the problem between the vendor and the State Department of Education. It's not our local servers or our problem, it's the fact that we use the state's system and they are in conflict. So we are working through that. Mr. Fogel's had quite an interesting beginning week. At the same time, as many of you may have seen, we also had a virus that replicated itself. It started with the West Virginia Department of Education and Finance, and, well, that was one of the ways that it came to us. Went through Pat Blunk's email, went through Ms. Marone's email, went through mine, and we are experiencing some significant loss of email service in that the virus directs your email Outlook accounts to place people's incoming emails into your trash. When you send emails out, they say that they've gone out, but then they're placed in your trash file as undeliverable, so you don't know they haven't gone out until you call and say, "Why have I not gotten XYZ?" So our IT department is working on that along with the West Virginia Department of Education. But to your point, I do not think that a simple 2-week posting is going to suffice. We can and will post it on Facebook. We have that capacity. That's still functioning, but we won't have our website, our normal comment process.
Well, it is going to be out for 3 weeks because of the fact that we consolidated this meeting with
Yes,
this
ma'am.
meeting. But even so, we just have to make sure that people have access to it.
Well, we will make sure that from the date that it's up when the website
have
gets
2
back
weeks.
up. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
But then
Thank
we need to be able to send out an email to our staff to let them know that it's here for. So it's a combination of both fixing the email problem and the website problem, which are, unbelievably enough, in the same week, 2 totally separate genesis there.
All right. And so, all in favor of placing it out on public review?
So moved.
Look,
Aye.
Aye. All right. Any executive sessions this
No, ma'am.
afternoon? Any other comments?
We had a EPIC meetings the other night in Martinsburg, and we have transferred all the property from RISA to EPIC, and RISA is now dissolved as of June 30th, and it will be known as EPIC Ruling First, a cooperative, and we have had a very good financial year so far, but we are trying to find other ways to sell our products to other counties that do not have RISAs or EPICs. And there's only, three cooperatives now within the whole state. And Mon County and some of those counties are interested in some of our trainings that we make available. But they will not be partners that are voting partners, and they will be participants, and we will charge them more as participants than we do with people within our organization.
Mon County doesn't have one? Doesn't have an EPIC?
I don't think so.
They do not. There are only 2 others. Mountaineer is one of them. They could join any of the others. I think their preference is to join ours.
Ours has been the most cooperative and has gone forward the best of any of the cooperatives that formed throughout the state. And a lot of that had to do with the workings of all the 8 superintendents. Did a great job getting together and working out.
Thank you. We will also, one of the things that we researched and found in this process is that Head Start, we actually own the Head Start building that's over at TA Lowry, and we leased it to RISA for a nominal fee of $1 per year, although Ralph and I were trying to check and see if we'd gotten our dollar for a while. We think they might owe us $7, but we plan on continuing that relationship, and I sent all of that information to Jim Butts, who was doing all of the fiscal paperwork for Epic, to let them know that they needed to renegotiate and sign another lease with us for their protection and ours, because they're in that building. And so we don't have a lease right now because it was with RISA and they don't exist. So they said that they would get that done this summer and get it back to us.
And the only property we had to transfer was the one at Hedgesville because it involved federal dollars. And so we did transfer that property several times and in several different ways till we got it the way the lawyers liked the transaction to be. And so it is now owned by Epic.
How about Head Start? Because that was completely under Jefferson County schools, right?
Well, no, sir. I mean, Head Start was a federal grant that we did jointly with Jefferson, Berkeley, and Morgan. We applied for it as a joint organization, although we have separate the teachers and the assistants and the buses, all of those things for Head Start. They are not Jefferson County Schools employees. They were RISA employees, and now they are Epic employees.
Yeah, we transferred over 200 employees from RISA to Epic this past time.
So, Mark, as you know, I just came from the School Board Association meeting, and about 300 new member-elects, and the Epic was highlighted as one of the most successful ventures as far as the RISAs and Mon County's and RISA 7, and they just didn't do anything. But RISA 8 or Epic definitely was highlighted as the model.
Well, we have to make our services known throughout the state as much. We have to sell ourselves and our services to let people know what's available, so our Epic will stay profitable, because to let the public know we are getting no money from the state now. This has to be a self-surviving organization now. So we have to generate all our own money.
Good luck. All right. So do we have a motion? Oh, did you
say something else? I would just like to say that I'm so happy to be here amongst you, and I want to thank my village for coming out and supporting the swearing in, and I'm just delighted to be here.
Anyone else? So do we have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.